How you doing? It's Albert Orange, and I just wanted to make this recording here um, to let you all know about some things that I've been thinking about um, concerning the Damar Hamlin situation that happened on Monday night. So I'll tell you. I'll tell you first about how I found out about that. I I went to record the first episode of the year of the season of the third season of my podcast, Bell the Before. It's a working title. And I was gonna record that, and I looked up the standings for the NFL, and I saw that Bills and Bengals game was suspended, and when I found out why, I immediately thought, obviously I was shocked, but then I also thought, well, how the hell am I gonna talk about this on this, silly podcast that I do? And for the next 50 minutes or so, that's what I try to do. I talked about, Damar Hamlin, collapsing, on right on the field in the middle of the game. Actually, it wasn't in the middle of the game. It was, the game was just starting. It was in the first quarter. But, I talked about that, and then I try to talk about, some other bull crap. I think I talked about my spiders after that, my pet spiders, feeding them. I talked about a book that I read. None of that matters now. After I recorded that episode, which was supposed to be episode 51 of the show, I started watching, a bunch of YouTube videos about the situation, and this is a national news story, as far as I understand. It's certainly the top headline in the sports world. This injury is not like any other injury, I wouldn't be surprised if all those people at the game, who were there in person, who were watching at home. I wasn't watching the game. I don't have ESPN, but I wouldn't be surprised if people thought, that he died right then and there. I wouldn't be surprised at all, and thankfully he didn't. He got listed as a critical condition, because of cardiac arrest. From just like a simple, textbook tackle. That's the scariest thing, isn't it? Is that it wasn't even a hard hit. At least it didn't seem that way. And it still caused him to collapse because his I guess his heart just, like, the rhythm of it just got disrupted, and that's all it takes. So they applied about 9 or 10 minutes of CPR while he was on the ground, and then he got taken away by an ambulance and on to the nearest hospital. in Cincinnati. Um, and just as a shout out to those Bengals fans, because that was right there at home in Cincinnati. And, I think this already happened once last year when the Bengals were playing some team. I forget who it was, and a player on the other team got injured really badly. Um, this was last year, and yeah, the Bengals fans just they settled down. They were like, "Wow, this sucks. This is really bad." Um. So and last night that was another example of how respectful those Bengal fans were. Um. So shouts out to them for um being so respectful and you know Bills and Bengals fans, they all a few of them gathered around and in front of that hospital where they're currently attending Hamlin. Um and I'll talk more about that in a second, but as I was saying, they took him away by an ambulance to the hospital, and they just they had a bunch of shots of those Buffalo Bills players crying, you know, and and they Josh Allen was crying. um the entire team was praying for DeMar. And I remember just watching that shot of Stephon Diggs with tears coming out of his eyes, just not knowing what to do, just staring off into the distance. That was powerful, to me at least. That kind of messed me up, and that wasn't me crying, by the way. That was just, it's very cold in here in my garage, so my nose just sniffled. But anyways, you know it was just very shocking, and it was very scary. It was very scary. Because football is, that's the game that I will continue to watch for years to come. And everybody went into that game thinking that they were gonna have a good time watching it. And now the Bills and the Bengals, if they're even going to play still, they have to play, but it's not going to be the same energy. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like, we're here to beat you, and, we're here to win this, It's just, it's going to suck for everyone if they still are going to play each other, And this is a very serious, very bad, I don't even know if you can call it an injury, because usually an injury means like, oh, you messed up your finger, you messed up your hamstring, even if it's like a really bad, I guess fracture or tear, muscle tear. that's nothing like just collapsing, going out cold, and just not, you know, not giving anything to the rest of your teammates to let you know that to let them know that, you're still alive. That's different. That's part of what made it so scary. you know like I think some people really feared the worst, but again, thankfully he's not gone yet, you know and he's still alive. And they're saying he's okay. I just saw an interview with it was his uncle. It was Damar Hamlin's uncle, and he was saying that they spent the last few hours just trying to get his lungs to full strength, up to speed. And he said that he's doing fine, which is great. That's great to hear. And they got like this tube that they shoved down his throat. Shoved is probably too harsh of a word. But they put a tube through his throat so he can breathe. And that's as long as he's okay, as long as he's alive, I think that's really something to be grateful for. I don't want to make this too long, but I just wanted to share my thoughts a little bit on that. And but just to wrap it up, I wanted to talk about those Bengals fans and those Bills fans, gathering together outside that hospital. That just goes to show you how amazing this football community is. Because if you're, let's take me for example. I'm a Seahawks fan. So not only do you exist in the Seahawks community, or whatever your team is, not only is there that community, those shared experiences and triumphs and losses, but you're also in the football community. The minute you become a fan of any sports team, you're also a fan of the sport itself. That's what happens. And the togetherness of the entire football community has been, probably the biggest thing that's come out of this. Just the support, everyone's support, everybody's support for Damar has been through the roof. It just goes to show you how amazing this community is. And I just wanted to let everyone know that, I don't care if you're a Seahawks fan or not. If you like football, my hat's off to you. Like that's something that we have in common. That's our common ground. And I just think that's very important to remember, that we're all in the same, community, and we gotta look out for each other. You know, of course, this game is very scary. It should be something that should never, you know, should never have things like what happened on Monday night ever happen. Like those things should never happen in this game. That's the ideal, right? This game should be about enjoyment and just watching sports. That's like that's a pastime. That's something that you enjoy either by yourself or with family. We all have our reasons, right? But it should be fun. It should be really, just something that we enjoy. And last night was an example of why it shouldn't be a reason to enjoy. But despite all that, it doesn't mean that we can't have togetherness or community. I think that's really important, and I think that's really nice. There is a charity that Damar Hamlin founded himself. I don't know exactly what it is, because I don't do research, but I will leave a link in the description to that charity. This is gonna go out on YouTube and hopefully Spotify, and all the other podcasting platforms. This charity I think is for donating toys. It's like a fund for toys for to give to kids from Damar Hamlin's community. So and he founded it himself, so I think if we all donate to that, it would mean the world to him. I'm optimistic that he'll be fine. I think he will. He's a young man, so let's hope that aids him somehow. And that's all I gotta say. I will not be uploading that recorded episode. I don't want to do that right now. I'm just gonna upload this recording instead. And I hope you all can understand that the 51st episode will be redone in a few days, and it will be uploaded Friday night. So if that's the one thing that you wanted out of this, well, there you go, there you have it. And donate to Damar Hamlin's charity, and let's just all hope that he can pull through and make it out of this okay. Again, it's a very scary sport, but it doesn't mean that we can't have community for it. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna take away from this. And I just I hope that he makes it out okay. All right. So yeah, I'll leave the link to the charity in the description. And that's all I gotta say. All right. Have a good one.